Three.
Let's see. One. Hello, everyone. Ava Salora here, interviewing MisFit Studios. Is that you or me?
Because that might be me.
Oh, could you mute the stream on your end?
That might be me.
Oh, because I can hear it. Oh no! Shh. Snowball, don't say anything.
Oh no! Snowball, don't say anything.
Oh no! The echoes.
Oh no! The echoes.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Is that better? Let's try that.
Okay. I think we're good. We're good? Yes? Yes? Awesome. Sorry about that, folks. I'm like, technical difficulties. It wouldn't be so misfit if it didn't have some problems. Let's put it that way. And then I'm going to go ahead and get that. All right. So, thank you for coming on here today. You want to introduce yourself? Be my guest right now. I'll let you take the floor. Oh, you can't hear me? Hold on. Oh, no. Hold up. What's going on here?
How about that?
There we go. Now I hear you. There we go.
Woo!
Woo! All right, everyone. So, MisFit Studios here. Longest intro. How you doing today?
Welcome to Saturday.
Right? Shout out to KatsuCon people today that are actually tuning in. Thank you for stopping in and watching the stream. I know that some of you are here that actually warned me, and I was like, okay. And then I'm like, oh my God, you guys aren't kidding. So yes, this would be Ben with MisFit Studios or MisFit Cosplay Studios and all that other fun stuff. We do have an official link for their actual Facebook page. We will get at the end here if you want to actually say what it is. I think I pretty much said what it was.
Yeah, so it should be, for Facebook, it's MisFit Studios 515. And which you'll see our logo, which you'll see here as far as the picture feed here in a little bit, what we do.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty easy find. I mean, Misfit name is pretty common. You're gonna find stuff anywhere from lingerie to curtains.
Oh yes,
Sorry about
absolutely.
that, but there's a reason behind our name, which we'll get in that story here in just a little bit.
Yes, and start off cosplay life. How did you get into it from when you, how far can you remember getting back, not saying that it was only just Halloween? Most likely it was for most people. So where you are now.
Thanks, Austin. So first of all, I gotta give props to you. Thank you for doing this, for putting out hard work. This initiative effort is something that you're not asking for anything back, and to get the community together and bring a voice is huge. So accolades to you, Austin, for doing this. I want to say thanks a lot. It really means a lot.
Thank you. And as I've learned from our previous live streamer, which his name is Adam, I learned this is a thank you, but thank you very much for saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, so in fact, because the audio issue, I thought we had a result of sign language here in just a little bit, so I'm glad we didn't have to, because I'm pretty rusty.
But thank you so much for saying that. And honestly, he is telling the truth, everyone. This is not, hey, I'll pay you to say this time. No, honestly, I'm not gaining anything. At this point, people are like, do you want anything out of us? And like I said in multiple, probably live streams and or recordings, I'm just like, a like, share, follow on both ends here, but please go support them before supporting me.
Yeah, virtual tip jar is what you need right there, you know?
I'll think about it. How about that? That's a lot of work I don't really want to do.
So to answer your question, I'm going to date myself real easy, very fast. Let's get that out of the way right now. So I was doing cosplay before cosplay was cool. So I'm well over 50. I am part of the Marvel Appearance Program, and I handle the Midwest for Marvel. I've been with Marvel for over 22 years. So anytime Marvel has a national event that they want somebody there, then they put me in there to be the superhero.
Okay.
So it could be Spider-Man, it could be Black Panther, it could be Thor, it could be any. So we're ambidextrous enough that we have to go in and play the role. And so I wanted that since I was 27 years old.
Whew.
And had an interview for that. And I had a strong martial art background. I had basic gymnastic skills. I was into health and fitness, and they put me on the payroll.
Yo,
I've been with them ever since.
That's an amazing background, like skill set right there.
Yep.
That a lot of people don't like. They try, but it's just amazing to see the people that like come from such a diverse background. History lesson, we'll just say that they got a history course for you to actually know. You could be doing all this, doesn't mean you don't need to go do it, but at the same time I would say like practice makes perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously Marvel would have big contracts like with Target and Best Buy and AA baseball leagues, and so we would travel all. I handled the Midwest. It was probably at the time started about 25 of us across the country. I handled from Chicago to Minneapolis to Kansas City to Omaha, and so we were on a kind of a regular schedule for events. And that's where my background came from, is doing that, 23, 24 years ago. Fast forward to today, and obviously cosplay is damn near a mainstream item.
Yeah.
And because of that, when you go to a Marvel appearance, there's a couple things. Marvel does a really good job, right?
Yes, they do.
But for licensing and everything else, Marvel you got to pay for that appearance.
Yes.
And usually it's thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. Even with theaters, there's a lot.
It is. And so what we did is that Misfits came cultivated out of numerous sources. But in the end, we wanted to bring that professional appearance, professional actor to an event without having to shell out thousands of dollars. In fact, pro bono,
Yeah.
So what we're doing is that we're actually going in and doing these events and still bringing that Disney-esque type of character to life, which is important not to break character.
Yeah.
And our motto, our mantra is really bringing heroes to life. And that's the whole goal, is to go in and bring the magic of being a superhero back to the kids. Make them believe that Spider-Man isn't just on the movie screen. He's real.
Yeah.
And so character knowledge, physical appearance, and basic skills are part of that recipe, that magic to bring that to life.
It's like applying for any type of role in a movie theater. Like, you really got to play that character to a T.
Yeah. Yeah, without question. And they'll test you. The team can definitely have a testimony to this. They will test you. And so the thing is that with our team being a nonprofit, is that we look at each hero, or each person of the team has a hero, a persona, I guess, for lack of a better term. They have their favorites hero. Mine was Spider-Man and also Iron Man.
Yeah.
And so when you learn that history since I could read a comic book at the age of 7, all the way up to today, you know the ins and outs of Peter Parker and his lifestyle. It's
so different from how it used to be, and to the day that they developed anything way back then, you see how the generation thought process was, how the whole generation living style was, what their thoughts and possibilities of seeing or imagining what could be futuresque. And even if we go into Guardians of the Galaxy's original comics to how they are now, so different. Even the spacesuits were like, we're going to put some dome heads all over our heads because theoretically we can't breathe in space. Well, now we're thinking a little bit more out of the box. Creativity goes far and beyond in the comic book industry. If a lot of people don't know that, it's no bad idea except not giving the idea is the only bad idea. Not speaking up is the only time that something isn't, okay.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts on this? Because to me, that there seems to be a little bit of a general deception between the historic comic book character versus the movie screen standard.
Yeah.
Because no matter what happens, the movie screen seems to dictate the standard. And it becomes the norm. Whether it's going to be stuff on a cereal box or toys on the shelf, that's the new norm, right?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's, and again, not pick on Spider-Man, but Tobey Maguire versus Andrew Garfield versus Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 different Spider-Men, which we had the awesome experience of seeing them on the film. But what happened was that which was de facto standard? One, none of them, all of them. You gotta pick your poison.
Right.
And that's the fun thing about that is that as long as you have a good red and blue suit and you bring the personality, it doesn't matter if you're dressed like Tom Holland, dressed like Andrew Garfield, or Tobey Maguire.
Or even into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, exactly.
And some historical fact, I'm going to test you here because it seems like you know your stuff. There is one other Spider-Man, but to the rights of what Japan got, do you know about the other Spider-Man that Japan had that Stan Lee allowed copyright officials over there? And what was that Spider-Man known for in the series? What was his actual title, and what did he do into that?
Oh, God, if that was the Godzilla filming type of Spider-Man, the Takayama character.
The one
that had the one web shooter and the web belt.
And what else did that Spider-Man have that you didn't really think a Spider-Man, or just in general, Marvel?
Spider-Mobile.
The what?
The Spider-Mobile.
Spider-Mobile, and then there was an animal type of robotic type of thing that he also used.
Oh, gosh.
You can just say a generic name, and I'm going to be like, yeah, buddy, you know.
I remember the car, the spaceship, I thought.
Do you remember the leopard Zord that Spider-Man had where he's like, I'm Spider-Man, the warrior from hell. Like, if you look it up, there's an actual, like, Japan made a Power Ranger-esque type Spider-Man show where he's battling, like, these alien-type, you know, villains, and he had an actual leopard Zord.
Oh, no way.
It's like the Kamen Rider type thing over there, but that was a contract where we could have used their stuff with Marvel as and vice versa as well. Like Stan Lee made a contract of how so many years for their actual thing, and I'm just like, wait, Spider-Man had a what? I gotta check this out because I'm gonna fact check it right now, and I was like, that's really freaking cool. And that was like the Edgelord. That was the Edgelord.
Remember the Electric Company Spider-Man that came out?
Yeah.
Bubbles is how he talked, all popping up. Same thing, you know, it's just like. And back then, when we saw it, we're like, oh my God, it's Spider-Man on TV. This is awesome. You know, and now we're just like, I mean, people get used to appearances now because it's, you get on Facebook, you get on Instagram. I mean, no matter what, somebody's out there doing events anymore.
Right.
It's bad for Marvel because Marvel's like, yeah, this is, we own the licensing. This is our bread and butter.
Right.
You know, and there's such a conflict of interest between what they want to capitalize on versus the public out there doing what they want to do.
Right, and there's actual rights and laws out there as soon as a certain, what is it? Is it a patent that expires or the rights to, say, even Disney characters? As soon Mickey Mouse is going to be a public use icon that can be used, and Disney ain't going to be liking that too much, but...
Oh, no, they will not.
No, and as soon as that, you know, as soon as it happens, they're going to try their best to say, no, we still own the rights to this. I'm like, no, it's the public domain situation now. It's legal for all of that.
You know, as far as IP rights, I mean, that's one thing you got a good point, is that those that out there that want to suit up and try to charge for events,
yeah,
and capitalize on some type of professional appearance, we got to be very cognizant of going out there because if it gets big enough or national enough, I mean, Marvel's got some very strong lawyers, and they will exercise eminent rights. There
was the scary situation even in the cosplay history of not even that long ago, if you know of it, but we heard that there was big studios that were planning on like saying that there's going to be a tax on people cosplaying. I was like, that's not going to happen, or like they're going to have to charge people for being in their actual cosplays to even have the rights to do that, like licensing issues. I was like, that's not going to fly, and at that point people won't go to these events. So like that got shut down immediately, and if they still try to do that, it's like, good luck.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because they tried to go in and say, okay, we're gonna allow people to suit up and play Spider-Man at a con or do whatever you want to do. But when they go out there and try to put websites together and charge for professional appearances, that's when the cease and desist come out.
Yes.
And it's just like, whoops, yeah, you don't want to go down that path.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not pretty.
absolutely not. And it gets very nitpicky when it comes across, across the seas, different countries. Like, there's the whole legal matters that are just out the window.
Yeah.
Like, our country can't do anything if it's to say, for examples, I'm not just nitpicking or picking on another country, but you got China, Russia, Japan, like, they can't do stuff over here as we can't do stuff over there.
Right. Yep. Your own backyard.
That's why you always say, well, this is a variant version of something called something different. Like, say, for example, if you say, oh, this is Ice King from Adventure Time. Well, this is Ice Wizard from Glassland or whatever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, this is Arachnid Man. It's like, well, what?
This is Man Spider.
Yeah. No hyphen.
No hyphen. No. It's all together. So it's Man Spider or something.
Spider.
So yeah. And then how is cosplay affecting your life since COVID actually, happened?
Oh my gosh. So we've been up and running. So a little history here. We kind of bounce back and forth between different groups, and I think Iowa, and not kidding aside, is the new New York. We've actually got more cosplay groups here in Iowa than probably any other state that I know of.
Honestly, if there was a state to actually move to, I would suggest moving to Iowa. I'm from Illinois, but I do there's certain parts of Iowa I was saying, yeah, but that's everywhere else in every single state. But essentially all the cosplay stuff, would you agree, is moving to Iowa?
Yeah, in fact, I mean, we actually got our first big con since Wizard World. Wizard World before pre-COVID was here. It was a really good con for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then obviously COVID hit, nothing happened. We'd have to go to Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas City, somewhere around there, maybe even Ocon for Omaha. Des Moines Con is now set for May.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, ooh.
And I'm like, sweet. And I'm happy to say that we'll have a table there. So Misfits will be there as a community table for the group, along with people like the 501st, Ghostbusters. Just having fun with people, having action photos, high fives. We'll have some giveaways there.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's just part of the community.
Yeah.
And they don't charge us anything. We don't ask for any money from them.
Yeah.
We're just there to have fun.
Right, and as eventually somebody brought up and off screen, they're like, are you planning on going to these conventions just as is? And it's like, if I do, when? Don't know. But for you to find me, I'll just be wearing this.
You are welcome to be at our table then, Des Moines Con, buddy.
There we go. And it's just, I've got 2 legs. I think I can walk to it. Just give me 2 weeks, all right?
Plenty of time. We got till May.
But at the same time, as future conventions too, what do y'all, how do y'all travel, or where do you plan on going throughout the rest of this year that you can give a heads up to the audience that are watching right now or future audience?
So book of business right now is that we have our Facebook page. We're starting to get into a little more, obviously Instagram and everything else for social media, the main platforms. Working on building a website just for calendar and events. But basically this is that whenever somebody reaches out to us and says, hey, we'd like to have some type of superhero at a public library superhero night. We can then read to the kids, do action photos, high fives, our typical stuff.
Yeah.
Then we have, and I'm happy to say that we are the largest cosplay group in Iowa. We're sitting probably around just under 20 members. Some more aggressive than others, but that's okay. The thing about Misfits is that we found that there's a lot of other organizations that have very either aggressive rules or strict rules, and some that are bring a lot of drama to it. Yeah. We are a non-drama group. Okay, and you and I talked about this on the side. But
yeah.
We don't care about our team members on their political affiliation. We don't care what they like. We don't care as long as they're a good person and can bring magic.
Right.
If they can bring a hero to life and they can pick that hero, so be it. Or villain. We have villains too.
Yeah.
And some do very good villains for us. And as long as they can bring it to life and bring the magic to a kid, that's all that matters.
Right.
Nothing
No.
else matters. We
It's
don't talk politics. We don't talk, where you prefer. There's enough of that crap on media today with news.
yeah. There is. It's exhausting at some points. It's like, nope, turn it off. I don't care. I'm gonna go outside and take a walk.
Exactly. So there's 3 owners. So there's JT, Jeff, and myself. And what we do is that we hold up the ownership, the LLC. So we're an LLC corporation.
Yeah.
Working on the 501c, a little more paperwork involved with that. But what we do is that we go in and just basically say, as long as that we have an event, somebody reaches out to us and says, hey, we want to come to our library. We want to come to this store kickoff, whatever it may be. We send out a personal poll to the team and say, can you make it? Can you not? And what persona do you want to bring? Some team members have 1 persona, some have 5. Again, that's okay. We do team up with another one. We have Avengers of the Night, which is here in Des Moines. Great group. Got to give them accolades. We'll partner with them, and they partner with us.
Yeah.
And sometimes that people want a minimum of 5 heroes or 7, and we'll beg, borrow, and steal from each other to cover the event.
Yeah.
So a good bunch of people. But basically what it is that we just kind of, I guess lack of a better term, take care of the kids. That's all that matters.
Honestly,
we do our homework, making sure that we're not going to something that nobody believes in. We've had invitations to go to certain events that just not quite align with us politically, because being a nonprofit, you have to be Switzerland. You have to be neutral.
Yeah.
And so there are events that we just don't want to really partner with, because we want to make sure that we can fit in about anywhere and not just tied to one source. That makes sense. Walking a fine line here, bear with me.
Right.
But basically what we're doing is that we have the group that nobody owns the majority of it. We'll all have 33 1/3% ownership.
Yeah.
And the team that we have is phenomenal. We have people anywhere from 18, and I'm the oldest one on the team at 55. And what we're doing is that we're just basically saying, let's go to an event, and when you go to Disney or Universal Studios, and you see the characters come out there, which they spend a lot of money on their suits. But those characters, like when I first took the kids to Universal Studios, out came Storm and Rogue.
Oh.
And I was like, and Rogue looked spot on. And I said, Rogue, major fan, how you doing? And she had a Southern accent. How you doing, honey? And I'm like, whoa. And I tried to break character with her. I tried. And she would not do it. I tried to do sidebar conversations, like, nope. And that is what the magic's all about. Is that you never deviate from your hero. You never deviate from persona.
The only time I would say that we're breaking characters, potty breaks, and I'm eating. But even when I'm eating, I'll be like this. One moment.
Shut the door.
I'd be like, and you want my attention? Why? It's just, I'm going to give them what they're asking for. It's like, not while I'm swallowing.
Look, it's here.
Hey, look, shiny thing. But at the same time now, with how experiences of conventions, good, bad, we've all had them, but what was some more of the most memorable type of experiences?
I'm going to say meeting Stan Lee. 3 times. In fact, I got his autograph tattooed right here. So met Stan 3 times, and phenomenal guy. So there's the most memorial one right there.
Nice.
The biggest thing about cons is that, it's like you go to Chicago, a bigger city, and like Ace, and they, before pre-pandemic, obviously, because they're starting to come back around again, you would have phenomenal costumes. And when you look at people that doesn't matter if they have a shoebox with markers on it or they spent $10,000 for their suit. When you're humble and you give them accolades for whatever effort work that they did is what it's all about. Because, and I truly believe this, is that the cosplay world is one area that you don't need to diss people. You don't need to put people down.
We already deal with enough of that on a day-to-day basis type situation, and we're supposed to come together as a family, yet we still get inside family drama. Let's put it that way.
Right, yeah, and so when you start looking at the judgment of because that, well, you shouldn't be wearing spandex, or you should put more time and effort into that. Well, you have nobody's history here. Maybe that this is the last dollar that they spent just so they could beat the con.
Right.
But you have no idea. They're not a millionaire. No. It doesn't matter. They're there to have fun.
Right.
And for people to judge based on quality, based on appearance, based on persona, is wrong.
Absolutely.
And I will call somebody on a carpet in a New York minute.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing, too. Growing up, I was judgmental of stuff. I was like, no, it should be picture perfect. But then again, when I looked back to see, why was I thinking that? Even some years ago, still thinking like, I'm surrounded by people who are judgmental as heck. And I'm like, I need to get myself away from this because this is not who I am. And if somebody says, oh, I have not been judgmental, I'm going to judge that real quick. I'm like, are you sure? Even fashion sense here. Are you sure? I'm like, no, I'm just messing with you. But honey,
one of our main rules at MisFit Studios is that just bring the magic, okay?
Right.
Your suit may not be perfect because we have a guy that is younger than me, but he is a master at crafting his own suits. And he doesn't buy anything, he creates everything. And when he puts a Batman suit together, it looks like something Batman would have to put together in order to fight the bad guys.
Yeah.
And it's his own natural spin on it. And I know it's not like something Michael Keaton would wear or Batfleck or Robert Pattinson, but when you look at what he does in front of kids, they don't care. Because at that point, he's Batman. He brings the magic. And his personality makes all the difference.
There's somebody, I think, his name is Tyler. He was actually one of the first interviews I had today. I think he'd be a good addition to your team.
Love to talk to him.
I will send you some information after this. But yeah, if you want to see the interview with him and I, he had a lot of Marvel DC. He did a lot of Batman with his wife. He's very family-oriented. On top of that, he's done Batman, Green Arrow, Red Hood. He's even done movie little stuff that you can find on there. And we've got it all linked in the description as well. So you can even see him on his off stuff, his Facebook, social media stuff. Like, honestly, this would be somebody... You good? And it's just,
I mean, it's such a weird world because you look at Marvel and you work for Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And Marvel's like, we want less than 10% body fat. We need to be 5'10" or 5'11". You got to make sure you're athletic build.
Sure.
Yeah. Marvel will put the skids on you because they want to make sure that they're perceived like a superhero.
Look at Thor. Look at Thor. Great example. Yeah. What did they have hit like? Sexy body. What did they do for him? If you look in the actual scenes, I've got the beer gut. He had to wear the fat suit, man. And I'm just like, dude, let's go. And then you know what? That example there influenced one woman. We didn't even know it was a woman unless you talked to the cosplayer. Did you see the one dude character, Thor, the fat Thor from the movie? It was a woman cosplaying fat Thor that was pregnant.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, wow. So she was playing off the whole belly. She was pregnant. I was like, wait, what? That's so amazing.
That's awesome.
And it's just like, I kind of wish I went up to the person and talked, just hear, hey. So like a soft, like, female voice. I'm like, wait, what? Whoa, what's up?
That's awesome.
But yeah, she had a healthy baby. I don't remember if it was girl or boy, but like, healthy pregnancy, all that fun stuff. I'm like, right on.
Yeah, she's going to work on being Jane.
Right? There we go. Now we got hello. Yep. Asgard has got you back, honey.
So, we also do a lot of other stuff at MisFit Studios, so we're not just doing suiting up heroes. We do have a professional scriptwriter. We've done stage shows, and prior to COVID, we would do at least 2 stage shows a year.
Yeah. Stage
shows were at least 30 minutes in length.
Cool.
It was a stunt choreography stage show. So we would work on them for a couple months before the show. So we had a big event called Kids Fest in Des Moines. And Kids Fest was a really cool event. Probably packed about at least 3,000 to 4,000 kids a day.
Yeah.
And so we would do 2 stage shows in a day. And the stage shows were, because there's several have martial art backgrounds.
Yeah.
So it would be a positive message stunt choreography. So it could be against bullying, or it could be against, manners or health and fitness. We always wanted a positive spin on the stage show, which was well received. And the stage show was interactive with the audience. So we want to make sure that we had our cues, we had microphones, and we could have the audience involved.
Right.
Whether it was standing in place and doing jumping jacks, or taking volunteers on stage for a push-up contest.
Absolutely.
We always had fun doing that event.
Absolutely.
And it was just so rewarding, because seeing hearing cheers from a crowd. You get like 300 people in an audience, 200 people, and hearing cheers, to root on somebody having a push-up contest that's 7 or 9 years old, or jumping jack contest. It was awesome. The kids were involved, and they all became friends because of that. And it was one of our highlights. I'm hoping that post-COVID that we go back to that stage show presence again.
Absolutely. That's the magic right there. That honestly is truly the magic there. As I would say, when you grew up, when going to the theaters, the magic of going to the theaters, see a movie, to be able to interact, being around, surrounded by other people, even still to this day, but it's only like on opening week night, whatever, you're going to see the most there, but it's just to be able to experience, to see what was put on the screen, being bad or good movie, that's your own experience, what you went through. You can share, you can cry, you can laugh, and some people, I don't understand why they don't just be like, yeah, let's go! In the theater, they're like, no, be quiet, hush, hush, don't. And I'm like, no, if I'm a fan, I'm gonna geek out. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, I'm not gonna be quiet about this. Or even crying in theater, be like, oh, you're not a man. I'm like, you're not my woman then.
All pass.
Exit stage
left. As well. We do a lot of fabrications. You're actually sitting in the shop right now.
Yeah.
You see I got one 3D printer going in the background. It's printing an Ultron head. So we do a lot of 3D models. Oh, nice.
And my roommate made this. It's a Hulk. It was a resin print. But we found out the machine was kind of... So, yeah.
We got a couple resin printers in the team. We got a couple large 3D printers. We've done Iron Man in the past. So we've done a Mark 43 that, again, trying to bring everything to life. So actually,
I heard it.
Yeah. This one's been retired because it's mostly fiberglass. And if people wear a fiberglass suit for more than 10 minutes, you want the hell out. It's just boring.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, I mean, I got some way. I could use some of the sweatsuit feeling. Oh God, get it off. Just straight up, but no, honestly. And then here's one. I actually haven't asked anybody this question. Weather-wise, weather experience, how did they affect plans of going to cons and or personal gatherings, not being COVID related, but like snowstorms, hot heat summer, my paint's blowing off my car, tsunami, floods, tornadoes, like any type of weather, like brought more of an experience to actually doing stuff for safety reasons, or like we have a crunch time. How did that affect some of the cosplay experience that you and your team had?
A lot. So let's talk about both weather scenarios, because Iowa, we get like 9 seasons, right?
Yeah.
We'd be all over the place. You got in Illinois, it's not different.
It was just 50 last week, and now it's like below 20 degrees, and we're like, oh!
So when you look at Spider-Man, for example, right? And we went to an event. So Wahlburgers had a superhero night.
Yeah. And
just for fun, the 3 owners said, you know what, let's suit up and go to Wahlburgers.
Okay.
Just for fun of it, right?
Yeah.
So like one guy's Thor, I'm Spider-Man, the other guy's Captain America. Walk into Wahlburgers, everybody's like, So when you look at lenses, and I'll show you real quick, because anybody who's wears Spider-Man knows they wear a face shell. So when you look at lenses that are actually have a polycarbonate cover, right?
Yeah.
When you go from 0 degrees to 60 degrees or 70 degrees inside a store, woof, fogged up.
Oh yeah.
and get blind as a bat.
Worst case.
And so,
Worst case.
anti-fog is your best friend. You know, times like that.
Worst case, they crack.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, oh, I just got done fighting Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
And he kind of got me right here.
In the heat, we'll do events at the zoo, and like in August, it gets pretty doggone hot. Like, heat index of 105. So we try to go with the lighter suits if we can, but we definitely take breaks.
Oh yeah,
because
you have
we give us an
to.
air conditioned room, lots of water, lots of Gatorade, and
A lot of
we'll be
ice cream.
25 on, 15 off. I mean, everybody rotates. Heat exhaustion is not fun.
No, it's not.
And when you're in a suit, sometimes, especially when you can't get, like a Spider-Man suit, it's a onesie, right?
Yeah.
You can't get water. And there's kids in line, you want to break off. And so the thing is that you want to get prepared for that. But sometimes you just got to take a break because your body won't. And again, working out, staying in shape, that's a huge dividend.
Oh, yes.
But when you're sweating everything out and that suit's absorbing everything, you're just a walking sponge.
Just doing that. That whole meme, like, hey guys, I don't want to chafe, but I got to get out of this.
Yep.
Oh man, sweat stories. We could get into that for days on days on days. To even worst case, did I wipe? Oh no, I can't get it off. Potty break.
We had to do appearance over at Flick's Brew House and for No Way Home.
Yeah.
And just got my new No Way Home suit done, right?
Yeah.
And big props to Aaron Alexander over in Peru for doing the silk screen printing. The guy did a phenomenal job. Put this thing together, because I put all my suits together, and went out there, and with the first hour, blew my crotch out. And buddy of mine walks in and he's like, dude, check your crotch. And I'm like, what? Look down, I'm like, and it's like a hole this big.
Oh no!
I'm like, yep, top it out, I'm done.
This is my holy Spider-Man suit. We're getting out now. It ain't Sunday.
Bring 2 suits. Have a backup.
Or in best cases, and there were some questions I haven't asked other people. For guys, wear Spanx.
Yeah, without question.
Like, does not matter.
Spanx.
Like, you need to keep it, like, there's nothing there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you gotta be Ken doll.
Like, yeah. You gotta be a Ken doll, not G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I know one guy at Marvel got in trouble because he didn't, and the client called him on it because he was not covering himself up.
That's where take some shorts and just say it would be one of those. No, get some shorts on now. We don't care. We'd rather you wear those than what's going on down below.
Go to Amazon, Google Dancer's Belt.
Or you can go to Walmart women's section.
But it's perfect.
You literally can go to the women's section, get Spanx. They're cheap, like $10.
Yep.
And trust me, they work. Honey, I'm good. And if you're worried, wear another, but get some circulation by going to the bathroom, please.
Yeah, these are mine. These are mine now. Yeah.
But all right, let's go ahead and get into the photos here.
Okay.
We've got the Spider-Man. So, tell me a little bit about the Spider-Man outfit right here. And I do see underneath where the foot is, it looks like you actually went into the effect of making sure there was more like, I'm not going to rip my suit type of thing. So, how and what went through the process of this costume of Spider-Man?
So, like the one behind me here, I gotta give a shout out to my buddy in Australia, Brad McDowell. So, Brad is on Spidey for Fun. He is, in fact, oh my gosh, the first Spider-Man movie, 2001. We started digging files about how to make the perfect Spidey suit. And this is actually stemmed from Mike Hill. Mike is an artist out in Hollywood right now that worked on Shape of Water. Also worked on Nightmare Alley. So he's done phenomenal work. So this again, going back to 2001, dating ourselves. But Brad did the homework and research to silkscreen really nice patterns. And so he put together the pattern for the ASM2 and then made himself a CNC machine and scored some of the original files from the movie and made actual silicone, polyurethane, whatever I'm going to use to make these for the wedding that are glued to the suit. So he did a phenomenal job, and so he puts the pattern, I sew the pattern together, obviously made to fit me, and then at that point, the shoes are going to be one of those things where that you can spend a lot of money, or you can go really, really cheap. Most shoes are like a dancer shoe. It's a flat sole, slip-on.
Yeah.
So you have that movie type look. So what they'll do is they'll go ahead and glue the fabric around the shoe, at the bottom of it, with some type of crazy glue or CA glue, and then the sole. And the sole is that how much quality you want to put into it. If you're going to be a lot of time in a suit, like the pictures right there, I've had that suit for 6 years because I take care of it. But I use a industrial conveyor belt piece of rubber that I've cut and glued to the bottom of the sole.
Oh, yeah.
So that way that it ain't going to wear out. And I have traction for the action.
And then we're going on to the MisFit Studios actual logo here is what you guys go by.
Yep. Thanks to David Bird with Reality. If you guys want to do cosplay photos, David Bird with Reality Reimagined, man, what that guy does with Photoshop is miracles.
Yo, if we can get some of those
team and made artwork.
If we can get some of the links from some of those actual photographers and other things later on to get into the video description so people can find this individual.
Sure.
I mean, we try and work some magic on that one and just let them know, hey, if you got some clientele coming, this is why.
Yeah, the guy's phenomenal. He does stuff in Photoshop and other types of artwork that just makes things come to life.
And then going on, we've got the Batman here. It's like, sup? How you doing? So how did this
That's
one?
the Batman I told you about. Everything's made from scratch in his suits.
Even with the bat signal right here, did you guys get that made or?
He made that from scratch.
Dang. That's insane. And like, any tips or advice on like materials being used here? Is it like full leather? We've got stuff from like, say, Joanne Fabrics. Like they're starting to make more things that look like this, more available. Yeah. But years ago,
nothing.
You would have to go like Alibaba or something for that.
Yeah. So Joanne does a really good job because obviously Yaya Han, who's a world famous cosplayer,
yes,
has got her fabrics there, which is going to be more of your tactical octagon type of printed fabric.
Like mermaid skin in a way too would be another example.
Yeah, exactly. Silk screening is the next level up.
Oh,
and there's companies out there that are doing silk screening, like if you want the Superman suit pattern,
yes,
or Black Panther pattern, or something like honeycomb, like Brad does on here.
Yeah.
Then that silk screening is going to be your next layer. Like with the new No Way Home suit, Far From Home suit.
Right.
That's all silk screen.
And I tell people, like, if you want a profession in something, go into something nobody has available, get your hands on it, and you can make money, but that's not what I'm promoting here either. It's one of those things,
right.
If, like, for that's going to cost you. I don't even want to put a price on that. Like, straight up.
Yeah, like this guy right here I got about $1,000 into him.
Oh, easily. Yeah. And then some people, I'm like, well, if you want to go the cheap route, how good are you with Sharpie?
Yeah, there's companies out there like Heroes Time that are doing full-blown sewn spandex suits for a couple $100. And again, I look at cosplay as like crawl, walk, run.
Yes.
So you get your feet wet, you start getting understanding about that, and you start making a little more money, or you budget for it, better job, whatever it may be. What's next? Let's look at this level. And again, I've been in it for over 20 years.
Like the South Park episode of the Sock Gnomes, get product. Get them ready. Don't know what's last.
Exactly. And you build up the quality.
Yeah. And then further on to the next one, we've got the Heroes for Hire, Iron Fist, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, Deadpool, Daredevil, Thor, Black Panther, and Spider-Man.
Yep.
Got them all! Let's go!
Damn it. That was with iHeartRadio down in Texas. So iHeart's one of our partners, and they have a kids fest down in Beaumont, Texas.
All right.
And they asked us to come down there. They took care of our flights, took care of our hotels, and put on a stage show. And had a blast.
And you know,
here was a community that did not have. So when you go to Minneapolis, Chicago, Omaha, you're gonna see cosplayers wherever you go to. So there's always an event, something going on.
Yeah.
It's saturated.
Yeah.
You go to Beaumont, Texas, they're not exposed to that.
You would think they are too, with the voice acting studios, the big Rooster Teeth events. Like, you would think that they are. No, they are not.
Talk about, the town has gone through a couple hurricanes. They're repressed. They're trying to build the community back up. And so when you go in there and be a superhero for a day, you're it. They're not used to it. So the shock and awe is phenomenal. Yeah. Those kids grab you and hug you like there's no tomorrow.
Right. I agree with the whole fact of going out too. I've done cosplay. If I were to go out and just this alone, people would be like, what? Like, they'll say, I like your outfit. I'm just like, thanks. I appreciate it. And I'll be like, I hope you're having a good day. Stuff like that. I'm like, how do I go off of that? I'm just like, I'm not expecting that. I'm like, oh, hey, thank you. But yeah, next we've got another Spider-Man suit that's different from the first one. Definitely can tell the difference because color tone, easily. I'm sorry, just to text him like, what? I can't go, sorry. And is this a helicopter here?
It is.
How did you get permission to do that?
So that's a Black Hawk up in Boone, Iowa. And so the actual Black Hawk team that does the maintenance and the turning of the Black Hawks, making sure that they're up and running, is up in Boone. And so friends of a friend heard about us and said, hey, we have our Christmas party. It's for families. It'd be really cool if we had superheroes and Santa here.
Absolutely.
Like, oh. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to charge you guys a dime. This is pro bono. It's for the military, which we have mad respect for.
Absolutely.
And we shoot it up and then had fun. And they brought a Black Hawk in that we can crawl in and out of for shots. Kids had blasts. They had Christmas presents. We handed them out. It was just a good day.
Right. And as time will go over, this cosplay I'm just doing, I'll just add stuff to it. Eventually people are like, you going to put armor to it? I was like, we'll find out. And then going on to the next one, I see this is at a theater with Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man. I see Captain Canada off to the left, wasn't in the picture. You have Winter Soldier, Captain America, and you have Hawkeye in it.
Yep.
I know my stuff.
That's the Black Widow movie premiere.
God, even the arm for Winter Soldier here? I gotta ask, what is it made out of?
I think it's steel. That's actual steel. Might be aluminum, I can't remember, but so Cody Templeton plays Winter Soldier for us, and Cody is, in fact, you could actually have an interview with him by himself. His cosplay skills are reserved for the God level.
Yo, send him my way. I would love to interview this boy. I'll make a special 2-hour session with him.
Yeah, because his attention to detail is off the scale. He's made us all raise our bar. He's also part of the 501st.
Even right here, I'm just looking. I do craft, I do props, I do armor, I do all this stuff. I'm a jack of trades, but even seeing that he made the metal arm in such detail, it looks like it's an actual arm. You got all the muscle tone definitions, like how it is in the comics. The details of that, and I gotta say, the bow for the Hawkeye, I'm like, I wanna geek out on the Winter Soldier here, but like even the Hawkeye. Now, did he make the bow, or is that something like he went to the hunter's store, like, what did he do to do that?
Bow.
Huh?
That's a real compound bow.
Woo! That's got some power behind it. How did he get that in?
Don't bring arrows.
And then Ant-Man, we've got another a faux or leather suit?
I think that is full leather for him.
Ooh. And then the Scarlet Witch from Boot. The hardest thing in all cosplays, it does not matter what it is. It always comes down to the shoes to be the hardest thing to find.
Yep.
Or make. And like, at this point, I might as well put some craft foam on my stuff and just call it a day. And then Captain America's shield, is that GameStop material Captain Shield, or is it an actual metal alloy?
Metal alloy.
You can usually tell just from how everything shines off of. And I gotta say that shield's probably seen some use.
It's got some wear and tear on it, yep. In fact, we even put Neo magnets on the back of it that you can actually put on the back, like a backpack, and wear it like a shield.
That's dope. That's honestly dope. And then we're getting to the Black Widow, and was that Black Widow's like sister also with in the picture? I haven't seen the Black Widow movie, or is that her with her?
Oh, that's her sister. Yep.
Okay.
That's Yelena.
And then I see that they've got some beating sticks. I'll just say that.
Yep. Which we made from scratch. Printed them.
Very cool. Very cool. And everything. Do you guys make your own shoes, boots, or sometimes is it easy to just go buy these?
Yes. Both answers are right. I mean, some of them are bought and modified and custom. Some are made from scratch.
I'm gonna say just best guess. Her sister. What is Black Widow's sister's name? So I know the character.
Yelena.
Milena.
Mm-hmm.
So Milena's shoes look like she went out and bought them, did a little bit of edit to them, but Black Widow's looks like she made them.
I think they're both purchased and modified.
Okay, because I'm seeing the different like sewing parts of the Black Widow, but like what kind of threw me off was towards the ankle area of the right side of the picture here. I'm just like, this looks like it's been worked on or it's been made, and it's as much I want to say the things that you don't see get made hardly from scratch is wigs and shoes.
Yeah. Yep.
And usually you get pretty good like brownie points with judges when you say, I made everything. I made the wig, I made my panties, I made my suit. You said you made your what? I made my shoes. And so on. This is made out of duct tape, even though it looks like it's metal. I used aluminum tape instead that goes towards fire appliances, water heaters, like that stuff. If you can find it, it's amazing. And then you know those insulated bags that, you know, like DoorDash, Grubhub have, and it's like silver inlining? You can go to an actual Lowe's or Menards, and they have like rolls of that stuff where you can actually make it look like it's metal and everything. I did that for a robot suit that I no longer have that exists, that I made for the video game conference center for the Bloomington, Illinois. I just made an old-fashioned 80s box robot, and everybody's like, how did you do the arms? I was like, I found rolls. I was hot. I moved everything. I had portable Wi-Fi with me, actual recording camera from my phone where I made sure it could be right here. Light up lights, everything I found either from Dollar Tree or other things as well. Styrofoam, but the whole rolls that made the whole arm stuff, because I can't find those big plastic rolls that you can just like put up your legs, and if you can, they're not cheap. Just straight up. So, and then going on, I see that we got a little baby with Spider-Man here. Is it one of yours, or is it friends of yours?
I think that's actually, if I remember right, that's going to be Thor's kid.
Okay. Cute. Now, did you guys get the baby suit made, or is just, you know, you went to Spirit Halloween and got that one?
I think he made that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And, you know, you can't, like, have this over a baby's face. They're going to be like, get that off of me. I don't know what this is. I can't comprehend. I'm baby. And then the next one, we have everybody in front of the house. You got the Riddler, Melina, Spider-Man, Thor, Miss Marvel, Rogue, and Hawkeye with a little kid holding Thor's hammer.
Yep.
And then, like, with the Riddler and everybody's costumes, I can tell, like, all these are made. These aren't store-bought.
Right.
And
like Thor's hammer, it probably weighs about 25, 30 pounds.
And she's lifting it?
Yeah, so see, he had it custom made. It's like 25, 30 pounds. So when he gives it to a kid, it's like he goes through this whole spiel. It's like, I'm temporarily going to give you the power of Asgard. This is very, very heavy, but you have to be strong enough to hold it. And he gives him two hands. And when the kid feels the weight of that hammer, his eyes light up. It's just like, oh, he's not lying.
Like, this is heavy. This is like...
And he does a phenomenal job as Thor.
The only thing I think wasn't made in this entire picture was the Riddlers came because I worked at Spirit Halloween.
Recognize it?
Oh yeah, no, like we sold those and they weren't like, styrofoam or anything. These were
With big canes.
yes, or like they had some metal alloy to them. Like Spirit Halloween is getting up to the point that all their canes aren't plastic. They're metal with glass like ornaments on them. Like, be
nice.
careful with this stuff. Don't drop it, or we drop you. But yeah, no, other than that, that's amazing work there overall. It's just breathtaking to see this type of work.
Thank you. It is. I mean, again, we're not perfect. We're just trying to make a difference in a kid's life.
Right? We're all humans. We're all humans.
Yep.
Just like simple as that. No, I'm not above someone else. I'm average Joe. Just have some special skills in my arsenal. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, some of the exciting projects we're working on right now is that we're working on a full-blown Mark 85. So it actually has an AI built into it. So it's got Friday's voice built into it. It goes into sanding as soon as it warms up into the paint booth. Our goal is to have it launched before the summer.
Ooh, that's going to be blowing up. Honestly, that's going to blow a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people out there. You look at, you can go to YouTube and look at Frankly Built. I mean, he does a phenomenal Mark 85. And a guy that started from scratch with one basic 3D printer and learned the hard way. That didn't work. What did work? And then finally the point where he put a full suit together and does a phenomenal job with it, with the intelligence. Build off what he did, I wanted, because I got an engineering background, so I want to get into the artificial intelligence. I want an internal voice on top of mine. I want voice activation inside the suit. I want something that when I finally retire to go, that's cool as hell. He did that.
Jesus.
And that's the whole goal. So it's actually done being printed. It's actually in a sanding process.
Yeah.
Working on electronics right now. It's going to have a couple Arduino boards inside of it, but it's going to be built that I can put it on by myself and be completely fully mobile.
Jeez. Like, I can imagine just how much work goes into that, and don't ever rush somebody's coding skills when it comes down to an AI.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
we don't,
rough and dirty, here's the head.
Obviously
working on the face shell, but again, this is a rough print. It'll go to sanding, priming, paint, be clear coated, and just looking forward to kind of getting that done and have something new for the kids.
My gosh, it's just like, it's amazing to see like how much work when you first exposed to cosplay, everything's gonna blow your mind. Now, if curiosity kills the cat in some cases in cosplay, but like, be that curious. Ask yourself, how does this work? How can I get this to do this or that and that? Hit up people and be like, hey, I'm reaching out because I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
Oh my God, YouTube University is one of the best things ever.
Oh my God.
Out there to learn on whether it's going to be basic LED lights, or how do I go ahead and source this? Is this on eBay or the AliExpress? Is it on Amazon? What's the cheapest route? I mean, we all learn from each other.
Right.
Nobody does one thing better than one other person, period.
Right.
But together we can all learn and share that information and make ourselves better cosplayers.
It used to be a hush hush, I ain't telling you how I do this.
Oh God, I hate that.
And I think what really opened up the community, even though the show doesn't exist anymore, but Heroes of Cosplay that was on Sci-Fi, they had Yaya Hun and all of them, it showed like, guys, if you start like explaining how things work, I think that's when things started, everybody's gears started like, I can tell you how to do this, but it doesn't mean you're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's, if you want to take this route, I'm going to let you know this is how much money goes into doing it. And when you tell that some people, it might scare most, if not like 90% of the people away. They're like, how about I just buy it instead? I'm like, okay. It's how much work goes into it. And I always tell people, you don't need to worry about losing money because there's so many other people that do this same exact stuff. There'll always be a unique thing that everybody does differently. And then that same day, nobody has the funds for most of the bigger like projects, where in most cases when engineers get into cosplay, oh my God, You can exactly insert JoJo. Holy. It's the oh my god, no. It's like cosplay can get expensive. If you want those like movie studio top quality things, think of what people had to go to learn to do all this stuff. The years, the experience, the hard sweat, tears, blood. Literally, probably all of my cosplays have some pluck of blood that I'm like, dang it, hot glue, into the actual
you
one.
Good point there, Austin, because people don't appreciate the knowledge to get where you're at today.
They treat it like fast food.
It's like, dude, this is 10 years of me failing to finally get it right.
And I can show you how to do it right, but like
I'll help you learn the same process and coach you, but I'm not just going to give it to you.
They want it. Best way of explaining it to anybody now in these days. I thought our generation. I'm 30 years old. I tell that to everybody. I just turned 30. Growing up as a 90s kid, things were slowly just being handed to us. Not everybody, but most of us, or the parents that struggled. They're like, I want my kids to have everything. Single parent mom, she wanted to make sure that both of my younger sister and I had everything. So growing up, not much appreciation, which that's why eventually I got rid of everything. I wanted to appreciate. I could have sold everything I had, made money. I was like, no, let's struggle. I know I can get a lot of money for this, but guess what? I don't care. I got to really appreciate what it is. And at any age, you could learn this much sooner. You need to appreciate. But it's like, you can't be handed. You can't be given. You can't treat it like it's fast food. And people will be like, wait, fast food? You get it so quickly on demand, you don't need to work for it. You have somebody working at such a low pay for everything of this, and it's like, no. Get out there and learn. Or, as somebody, many people have come to me, can you tell me how to do this? Or what's this mean? I'm like, did you first look up? Did you do the research yourself? Look at 5 different sources, then come ask me.
Yeah, I've had a lot of asks to say, hey, can you sprint me a Spider-Man face shell and lenses? Okay. It's going to be about at least $100. What? I'm like, yeah. By the time I print it and design it and scale it to fit you, put it together, it's at least $100.
Material, time, cost, expenses.
I'm sorry, but you understand, time and materials. It's not just I can't snap my fingers and say, here, print this.
Kamui Cosplay. She's a great example out there. She's done videos on like, this is how much it costs for every single thing. This is why it's so much. I can make it for you.
Yep.
I will tell you how to do everything, but guess what? As knowledge is presented, that's where money talks.
Yep.
And I used to hate that. I was like, man, like, no, just tell them how to do it. And it's like, no, now I'm like, if you come to me explaining your actual situation as respectful as possible, even if you're just using me, the fact that you put in that effort, regardless if it's costume making, prop making, voice acting, just in general, if I see a general respect in return, might change the outcome of how this conversation goes.
Right.
And if it's disrespect, like I see that you're being all nice and I see you're being all, I'm going to be like, what was that? Yeah, I was like, you know what? I got to go do something else. Type situation is like anything of how you treat others is what can make a huge outcome in what you want in life. Work for it, absolutely, but it doesn't hurt to ask it doesn't hurt to ask someone for help once in a great while. Don't be super prideful of everything either. That will get you nowhere.
Right.
And
you'll block yourself off the rest of the world.
And
there's a lot of people out there I've reached out to over the years and said, hey, how'd you do this? What's this cost? I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Why not? I just want to replicate this. I want to do it myself, but I want to do this version of it. Nah, I can't tell you that. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like,
but then that pressed me to go dig deeper and find a way to do it.
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there that are doing stuff that you can piecemeal, like if you're doing an Iron Man suit. Hey, this guy already does the arc reactor. Perfect. That's that portion of it. I can buy that and I can paint and finish it myself, or put LED lights into it.
Yeah.
Or a guy says, I can print a whole suit. Well, what's the cost to print a suit? Yeah, I'm gonna have probably about $400 of material. Oh, I'll pay $400. I'm like, no, that's $400 in material, not the time and energy to scale it, print it.
Just triple that.
My printer,
Just triple it at that point.
Yeah.
If not, quadruple at that point. And it's like, you realize not only does the material cost this much, but the time and effort put into it, I gotta charge for that. If any mess ups happen, I hope to God I don't have those, but I gotta consider that. The extra expenses that are going to be going into this and getting shipping and everything else out, or if you come pick it up, cool, I don't need a charge for that then, but I don't want you coming to where I live.
Right.
I'll be like, here, P.O. Box. I'll ship it there. Just straight up. That's
the biggest thing is setting expectations. That when you have somebody that wants to look at you for a source of something, whatever it may be, it could be EVA foam, it could be 3D printing, whatever it may be, setting the expectation. That is the big thing that bite people in the butt.
It does.
And making sure that there's a clear, concise message about this is what I can produce, this is the cost, and this is the time frame to produce this.
Yes.
And get those three things covered eliminates a lot of drama and heartache later on down the road.
Right, or worst cases in like the artist world. All of artist world. Mostly it comes down to just art. Well, can you do this for me for free and I'll just advertise you? I'm like, I need something. But
yeah, I gotta eat, man.
I tell people, like, when it comes down to with my chiropractor skills, I'll work on them for free, but I'm just like this. Here, buy me a meal. That's all I ask. I need to eat. I need to live. I need to survive.
Yeah.
And people don't even think about that. Like, I gotta be able to do. I'm just like, what did you move for? But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the social media stuff that we can actually tell people about, and other group stuff that you'd like to give shout outs to that we can get linked in the video description as well. What would you say they can follow you up on?
So obviously we're on Facebook, which is MisFit Studios. You'll see our big ladder, the purple and gold banner, where you can get a hold of us at. We're on Instagram as well. Working on a website. Just want to make sure that I have the time and money invested to make sure it comes up right, because I want to do it myself. This is how I am. Other than that, I mean, we definitely partner with other groups out there. I got to give a shout out to Avengers of the Night, Night with a K, here in Des Moines. Do a really good job. They were at an event last night with the Des Moines Bucks hockey team, and they're a great cosplay group, for charity organizations, and they partner with us. Photography stuff, we've got several people that we partner with. We partner with Brice Photography here in Des Moines, who's got a lens like this long.
He's good. He's good. I've seen his work. Really he is good.
Yes, and very fair priced.
Yeah, honestly.
And then also David Bird. So if you want to take your picture and make it realistic, so that if you want the glowing eyes and the end game type of background, and somebody that David Bird with Reality Reimagined is a phenomenal job.
Honestly, yeah, and there was Easy Cosplay. I see on Facebook posts things here once in a while, and there was a new cosplayer I never heard of, and it was like, she was in this Tifa cosplay, and I thought it was actual, like, somebody did digital artwork, and I'm like, wait, that's an actual person? Holy crap, that's good! And I gotta admit, she looked good, she in really good shape, like the abs and everything, so I'm like, you work your butt off, girl. You deserve what you're doing, because that is not easy. You want abs? Work for it. You want cosplay? Work for it.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. And David he actually did our logo. He's done a lot of, pretty much all our team he's done one-on-one shoots with. The guy's phenomenal. I mean, what he does for making your cosplay pictures real is, I can't put it in words. I mean, it's just, he's done pretty much everything from Wonder Woman to Batman to Daredevil to Spider-Man, Black Cat, Black Panther, and he always has a different spin on it, which is so unique to the character's persona. It's not just a brick alley. It's not just New York background. He brings background life to the image, which is just phenomenal.
That's
so
rare.
I'll give you a link to where he's at as well.
That's honestly extremely rare to hear. And if it is, it's something of... it used to be common back then. Now in these days, here's your Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
Straight up, that's a great example right there to say. Or here's your Dragon Ball. Or, just go on and on and on and on about that.
Yep,
Or, here, I've got your original ping pong electrical actual game cast device right here. It's called an Etch-a-Sketch. I may have some jokes, but man, I tried to get culturally educated on a whole lot of things. And experience comes down to so much of what cosplay provides, even in acting, the theater life, movie life. It could be video production. It could be into seamstress, tailoring. You could go into I'm an artist, I am a painter. There is so many different categories that go into cosplay that it's just stupid. Mm-hmm. And how amazing that will just drop your jaw. Even script writing. Script writing's a big thing too. You gotta act it out.
Yeah.
And best way of actually explaining, if people take even a film 101 class, I've done it, it's amazing to see what the heck, all this goes into that?
A lot of work.
You just read the credits sometimes of those movies, and you'll see how many different departments. just act as if that's a cosplay making regiment right there.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
But oh my gosh, thank you so much, Ben, for coming up on here for the interview, and let's try and get these other people on an interview as well, because I feel like they'd have a blast with it. I'd enjoy their presence. It's just very wholesome.
Yeah. I'll send you Cody's information. I'll talk to the rest of the team who wants to volunteer for that, and then. If you ever thought I want to get into workshops later on, could be EVA foam or 3D printing or scaling or 3D
insulation foam even works with that. That's what I've made a lot of props out of. Yeah. But then I'll even give some of the secrets out. People ask, how do you have this so thick? Even if I hit it, it isn't denting. I'm well, you want to use Plasti Dip, you want to use gesso or gesso primer, you want to use 2 times Rust-Oleum paint, got some acrylics, and then we're going to be going with Plasti Dip. Every time you get some type of layer, Plasti Dip it, gives a rubber coating, and then you can go into the rubber denser, Flex Seal stuff, but that's going to get real heavy real quick. But that's why if you get into EVA foam, the thick stuff, and there's a difference of the EVA foam thickness that you see Kamui Cosplay, Yaya Han use versus the rolls at the supermarket store. The density of you cutting one of those is
Yep.
Where it's and this other one's just
major difference.
It does. The time and effort and money does matter to a certain point with cosplay. But still, we're not deterring anybody from cosplaying because we're scaring them with the big words that they don't want to hear. You could make your cosplay completely out of cardboard and it can look so amazing.
Yeah.
Duct tape cardboard.
Is all that matters.
Right? And then, funny fact, spray WD-40 on something, light it on fire, be an insulation foam, put it out, and you got the most realistic Rune City of metallic look with it after you spray it down.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it's so nice. Or
that's a workshop right there.
It is. And make sure you're wearing a...
Yeah.
and outside. And make sure you have some fire hydrants just to,
Yeah, just be safe. Yeah.
But on that, let's go ahead and get off here, and we're going to be moving on to some other interviews with people from Gatsugon tonight, everyone. Stay tuned to those. The next one isn't going to be for another hour, and by the time you even see this or you haven't, you'll already see the next interviews up on Twitch and maybe YouTube as well. And I say that because it's going to be a while before I get them on there.
You're doing a great job, Austin. Well done.
Thank you. And on that, guys, we'll see y'all later. Peace out, Girl Scouts, and we'll see you on another time. Bye.